This is Introduction to Section 3.1, Part 2. Part 1 we talked about parallel lines and planes and skew lines. And now we're going to dive into talking about lines and how they're related to each other and where different angles are. So, first thing we're going to talk about here is a transversal. And this is an important definition that you make sure you know. It's a line that intersects two or more coplanar lines at distinct points. The diagram below shows 8 angles formed by a transversal T and 2 lines L and M. So the lines are these guys right here, L and M, and the transversal is the one line that cuts into both of them. Okay, so this right here is the transversal. And it says, notice that angles 3, 4, 5, and 6 lie between L and M. They are interior angles, or what we call inside angles. They're inside of L and M. Okay? Angles 1, 2, 7, and 8 lie outside of L and M. They are exterior angles. Again, these guys are outside. You notice you see the yellow in your picture there, the yellowish color. That is the inside. The white color is on the outside of L and M. Okay, now we're going to start talking about angle pairs formed by transversal. And these angle pairs are very, very important because you're going to use these a lot as we go through this chapter. Okay, so the very first, and I'm going to zoom in so we can do these separate one by one. Very first definition is alternate interior angles are non-adjacent interior angles that lie on opposite sides of the transversal. So that's what a definition of an alternate interior angle. They're on the inside of L and M, and they're on opposite sides of T. Okay? The example here is that we are looking at this picture here. The example of alternate interior angles are 3 and 5. These are alternate interior. And then 4 and 6. They're on the inside of L and M. Here's L, here's M. They're on the inside of them. They're inside of L and M. And they're on opposite sides of the transversal. One's on the right, one's on the left. These are alternate interior angles. Okay, alternate interior angles. All right, the second one is same side interior angles. They're interior angles, they're on the inside, that lie on the same side of the transversal. So now as you look at the picture here, these two are same side interior. Again, they have to be on the inside of L and M. They're inside of it, and then they're on the same side as the transversal instead of alternate sides. These are 3 and 6 are same side interior, and 4 and 5 are same side interior angles. They're on the inside of L and M, but they're on same side of the transversal. The third one, corresponding angles. They lie on the same side of the transversal and in corresponding positions. Now, another word for corresponding is essentially they're in the same position on different lines. On the same position, yet they're on different lines. For example, as we look here, okay, you're going to look at a bunch of different pairs here. So we'll start here with 1 and 5. So the transversal is T, L and M. They're in the same position. So as you see T, here is angle 1. It's on the top left of the angle there where the 4 are made. And then angle 5 is corresponding to that because that, again, is on the top left. Okay, so top left of L and top left of M are corresponding. Same thing with the top right of L and the top right of M. These are corresponding. Okay? Then you go to the bottom left of L and the bottom left of M. They're corresponding. And then finally, you have the bottom right of L and the bottom right of M. They're corresponding to each other. You'll notice again, they're in the same positions, okay? They're in the same position right here, but on different lines. One's on L, one's on M. But they're in the top right in this case. Okay? All right. So now the fourth one we're going to look at here is alternate exterior angles. We had alternate interior, which means they were on the inside and they were on different sides of the transversal. This time they're on the outside exterior angles that lie on opposite sides of the transversal. So, as we look at this picture here, okay, lines or angles 1 and angle 7, they're now on the outside of L and M, but they're on opposite sides of the transversal, okay, the line that cuts through. Same thing with 8 and 2. 8 and 2 are on opposite sides of the transversal, but they're on the outside of L and M. Remember, this is the inside of L and M. This is the outside of L and M. Okay, these are alternate exterior angles. Okay, now that we've went through and discussed the 4 types of angles you're going to look at, okay, we're going to take this example here and figure out the answers to which is a pair of alternate interior angles. Now, there's a couple of different options here. Now, you'll notice this picture in this case is turned on its side left to right. So the first thing that we want to figure out is what's the inside and what's the outside. Okay, well, in between L and M is the inside. So I'm going to mark this down right here. This is the inside. That's in between L and M. This out here is the outside. Here, and that's the outside. So what I need to know a pair of alternate interior angles. So they got to be on different sides of the transversal, but they're on the inside. So I have 4 choices, 2, 7, 3, and 6. Now if I want them to be on opposite sides, I'm going to match these 2 together. Those are alternate interior. And these 2 together. That's alternate interior. So as I'm looking at these, they're on different sides of the transversal, and they're on the inside of L and M. So I've got 2 and 6 and 3 and 7. 2 and 6 is a pair. 3 and 7 are a pair of alternate interior angles. Okay, 3 pairs of corresponding angles. All right, 3 pairs of corresponding angles. So I need them in the same position, okay, on different lines. So one's going to be on line M, one's going to be on line N. So let's take a look here and let's figure out what we're going to look at. So we want corresponding angles. So if I were to start here top left on M, I need top left on N as well. That's going to be angle 3. So angle 1 and angle 3 are corresponding angles. Okay. I also could do bottom left and bottom left. So bottom left on M and bottom left on N. This is going to be 8 and 6 are corresponding angles. Now, what I want you to do is I want you to hit pause on the video and come up with the other 2 pairs of corresponding angles. Okay, now that you've hit pause on the video, you've come up with the other 2 pairs of angles. Let's look at the actual answers here in terms of what the other 2 angles would be. The other 2 corresponding angles, this is top right and then top right, which would be angle 2 and angle 4, and then bottom right and bottom right, which would be angle 7 and angle 5. So those are the corresponding angles. All right, so this concludes section 3.1, part 2 video. Don't forget to complete your WSQ.